Good evening, shalom, and a big gesund. This is your host, Orchestra leader Marty Levitt, bringing you Freilach time on WTNA Miami. I'm here every Wednesday evening at 88.9 on your FM dial. Our program features Jewish theater songs, Hasidic Nagunim, and Israeli favorites. Before we get our show on the road, how about picking up your telephone, calling a friend or two, and have them become part of a family of listeners. So let's sit back, relax, and enjoy for the next full hour with Freilach time. Freilach means happy, and happy means Freilach. So let's be Freilach together with the music of our people, conducted by your host, Marty Levitt. Good evening, everyone. This is Marty Levitt bringing you Freilach time. We have lots of new listeners this evening. Mr. Sidney Weinstein called. And we had also several calls from Sonia Gale, that's right, and Ms. Ann Koch, and I can go on and on. We have a tremendous list, and Irving Puro sent us a beautiful postcard. Anyway, you know, if you enjoy Freilach time, you can send us a postcard too, and later on in the program, I'll tell you where to send it. In the meantime, let's start off our program with a very lively instrumental recorded by the Israeli Broadcasting Orchestra. Good evening, this is Marty Levitt bringing you Freilach time. And now from the Jewish theater, let's hear Seymour Rexsite sing the Hapkele.
Mir Harriet, der tanzen neuer Hopkele, a Freilach Hopkele, nun soll sein Hop, 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 ganze Leben muss doch dort a Hopkele, nun darf dir alle Hop die Nase lang gelegt. Gib euch man weiß sich alle in a gleichen Lippen, oh, gib euch Buchen a Mädel tanzen kann, nun mir Harriet, der tanzen neuer Hopkele, a Freilach Hopkele, nun soll sein Hop, 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 ganze Leben ist doch nur a Hopkele, nun darf dir alle Hop die Nase lang gelegt. Dus is niet geen halve kille, dus is akkusaatske. Dus is niet geen halve kille, dus is a polke, spielt es wohl in der Hand. Freilach hopkjelle, nu zal zijn hop, 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 hop. Ganze leven is het door een hopkjelle. Nu dat er alle hopje na zo lang geleefd. Oi, ze hier, oi, ze hier. Nu beweegt zich alle in het gleiche richting. Oi, ze hier, oi, ze hier. Du kan nemmer med den hand, den hand. Nu dat er alle hopje na zo lang geleefd. Hopje talen, 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 hopje talen,
We just heard Seymour Rexsite singing Lemmer alle tanzen die Hopkele, and I'm sure Sonia Gale enjoyed that, because I know I spoke to her and she said she loves those old Jewish theater songs. And now for all of our Israeli friends, Noladeti la Shalom, I was born to live in peace. case you have just tuned in, you are listening to Marty Levitt, Freilach Time, and the only radio program in the Miami area dedicated to the preservation of our musical heritage. And how about calling up a few of your friends or invite your neighbors into the house, and let's all listen and have one great big simcha this evening, because we like everyone to be Freilach. And now, a lively instrumental featuring my orchestra, the Marty Levitt Orchestra, and I'm going to play a Hasidic medley. Included in this medley is Kol Tzahola. Last week, we featured Benzine Schenker. Benzine Schenker is the composer. He sang on the record, and he composed Kol Tzahola. Now we're going to hear an instrumental version, and one of the songs in this Hasidic medley is Kol Tzahola. Well, you just heard your host, Marty Levitt, playing the clarinet in his orchestra with a Hasidic medley. And of course, you did hear Kol Tzahola. And I spoke, as a matter of fact, I called long distance this morning. Fran and Isaac Hager, I called them in New York, and I told them that we need some more albums because they happen to have produced that album, which you just heard. And Mr. Milton Atlas, he asked me for some Joe Amar numbers, and I don't happen to have those albums. So I called Fran and Isaac Hager, and they said they're going to donate it to our program. I think that's very nice. Unfortunately, they live in New York. They cannot hear what I am saying. And we also got a beautiful letter from, no, it's a postcard. Everybody in the station read it, and they all thought it was so nice, so I just thought I will read it to you. Because as you know, every Wednesday evening I ask you to send us postcards. This is public access radio. We don't accept commercials. We do need letters. We do need postcards, and we could use a little of that gelt. You know what gelt is? It's money. That's what gelt is. It's money. So Mr. Puro wrote, last Wednesday evening it was my good fortune to tune in to station WDNA and was surprised to hear a Jewish tune I had not heard in years. Listening to the rest of your program was simply a delight, for we New Yorkers have not had the opportunity to hear these old Yiddish melodies anywhere. Relaxing and hearing those stars of yesteryear brought back old memories. I have told my neighbors about your show every Wednesday so they can have the same pleasure as was mine the other night. Too bad the program could not run a bit longer. As I said, I've always yearned to hear those oldies again, he wrote, and thank you and thanks to radio station WDNA for that pleasure-giving hour. And that was sent to us by Mr. Irving Puro. We get many more letters, of course, but since everyone on our station read this postcard, it wasn't closed like an envelope, it didn't have an envelope. I just thought, it'd be nice if everyone heard it. And, you can write to us, too, and I'll give you the address later. You can give me a call at 651-3241. That is no problem. Anyway, at this time, for Sonia Gale, this sounds like a movie actress. She's one of our fans, one of our new listeners. And Harriet Kane, accompanied by the Marty Levitt Orchestra, is going to sing an old Yiddish folk song. This has never been aired on our program, and the name of that song is Oi Weiß zu mir.
Schwarze Kasche reißen und grüne Lasen stehen, schöne Mädel lachen Männer und miese lassen gehen. Oi, weiß zu mir und zu meine Jünger, Liebe hab ich gespielt. Heilige Dreiviertel Jünger, oi, weiß zu mir und zu meine Jünger, Liebe hab ich gespielt. Heilige Dreiviertel Jünger. Was zeigt mir der Polke mir so geht, was tanzen kann ich sie nicht. Was zeigt mir die schöne Figur geht, als Leben nennt man mich nicht. Hoi, weiß zu mir und zu meine Jünger, Liebe hab ich gespielt. Heilige Dreiviertel Jünger, hoi, weiß zu mir und zu meine Jünger, Liebe hab ich gespielt. Heilige Dreiviertel Jünger. Was zeigt mir die Lippen zu backen? Ich krieg nicht kein Kavalier. Hab heute als ich will schon stoppen. Abstille, Abrott ist zu mir. Oi, weiß zu mir und zu meine Jünger, Liebe hab ich gespielt. Heilige Dreiviertel Jünger, oi, weiß zu mir und zu meine Jünger, Liebe hab ich gespielt. Heilige Dreiviertel Jünger.
Oi Weiß zu mir. Oh, woe is me. That's what it means, actually, and that is an old folk song. We have a special public service announcement, and if you have a public service announcement, you can mail it to WDNA, P.O. Box WDNA, Miami, Florida, 33155. Address it to Marty Levitt, and of course, do include a letter that you are listening to our show. It's only fair. Anyway, I'd like to read this. This is from Temple Beth Am. There will be a Sisterhood Hanukkah Workshop Luncheon at Temple Beth Am Social Hall, 5950 North Kendall Drive on Wednesday, November 19th at 11 a.m. Hanukkah prayers, songs, cooking, baking, and crafts will all be taught in preparation for the holiday, which starts December 2nd. For reservations, call the Temple's office at 667-6667. So if you have any public service announcements, don't forget to mail them to station WDNA. And if you couldn't copy down the address, give me a call at 651-3241. 651-3241. Well, we heard Harriet Kane singing Oy Vaya Miriam. By the way, that was your host, the Marty Levitt Orchestra, accompanying Harriet. And now, for an old song, and I think Mr. Mac Abrams, I'm pretty sure he's listening to our show, he would like this song very much. Yes, Mac, it's going to bring back lots of memories as we present the Jewish All-Stars playing for us the Pachtanz. We just heard the Pachtanz, I should say, which means the hand clapping dance. You know, you go Pach like this, Pach, Pach, Pach. Everyone knows how to Pach. And when is the last time you danced the Pachtanz? And when is the last time you heard the Pachtanz? I know we haven't played it on our program yet, but if you listen to Freilach time, you can hear the Pachtanz. And now we'd like to bring forth that eminent artist, Mr. Jan Peerce, singing for us Adudale.
Wie kann man dich ja gefühlen und wie kann man dich nicht gefühlen? Als wir gehen, du und wir stehen, du rat du, nur du, wieder du, oder du, Sei mit zum Giet, du, vor lila Schlaf, teuer du, Mizrach du, mein Riff du, Zoffen du, Dorem du, Shamayim du, Oretz du, mein Lot du, Macho du,
We just heard a Doodle with Mr. Jan Peerce. Did you call a few of your friends? You know, we have lots more show to go yet. Did you tell them to tune in to WDNA? WD, D as in David, NA. WDNA FM. FM, we cannot forget FM. Tell them to tune in and join our show. And perhaps a few of you people that are listening will throw a quarter into the pushka. You know what a pushka is? A little box with a little slit. And you'll send us a check for $1.38, or $2.17, whatever, because this station, WDNA, needs every penny it can get. As a matter of fact, it even needs the pennies it can't get. So anyway, I'll leave it up to your discretion. At this time, from Mr. Cy Blumenthal, we're going to present the Israeli Broadcasting Orchestra again, and they're going to play for us the Rebbe hat geheißen Freilach sein, which means, the rabbi said, let's all be merry. We just heard that famous Jewish folk song, the Rebbe hat geheißen Freilach sein. And now we'd like to bring back Mr. Seymour Rexsite for an encore, but at this time, he's going to get a little help from his gorgeous and beautiful and talented wife. That's right, Seymour Rexsite, a wonderful entertainer from the Jewish theater, and his wife is none other than Miriam Kressyn. And together they're going to sing for us as a duet, Die and Ich, which means you and I.
Wir harze geschehen, wer damals aus.
Wenn Tanzhusen kam dem Wald.
Im Tanz mit mir, in seinem Haus, wenn amul, weil gehabt, schon mit dir, hab ich Freude und Absul.
Gedenkst, die Genuch der Stimmung wieder sein, gestürmt in Musik auf dem Wald, da so schön.
Die Nähe des Menschleben sieht, wenn ihr redet zu mir, klingt es wie kein Maschine. Das mein Harmonie in der Zukunft ist ein glücklicher Zweig.
We just heard Die and Ich, which means you and I, and of course, you and I, we're going to make our program a very successful radio program in the Miami area. And how can you help? It's very simple. Just send us a letter to WDNA, P.O. Box WDNA, Miami, Florida, 33155. 33155, and address your letter to Marty Lovett. And if you'd like to put in a tax-deductible donation, our radio station can certainly use it, but we do need your letter. And now I know we have a lot of Jewish people from Hungary, Hungarian Jewish people, or Jewish Hungarians, I don't know how you would call them. And right now we'd like to play a Hungarian medley, an instrumental which I recorded with my orchestra, so get ready to dance the Chardash. just heard your host, Marty Levitt, playing a Hungarian medley, and you heard my clarinet on the introduction, and I'm sure many of you enjoyed that. And right now, we'd like to bring to you the Barry Sisters, and they're going to sing for us, Vjach Chach Chach. I don't know what Vjach Chach Chach means, but they're going to sing it anyway. Vjach Chach Chach.
Meidele, oh meidele, her a sheen little fin den jingele, biddly a bobirum, bobirum, bobirum. Die wist meine Ruchale, mein Masel, mein Bruchale, mein Kleine, mein schöne Meidele, oi wie joch, bist meine Chubale, mein Herz, meine Schubale. Mein Kleine, mein schöne Mädele, weil ich lieb dich gut aschien. Oh, jene sieht das Brit in Herzen, macht bei mir. Oh, wie joch, bist mein Matunale, mein Sinn, mein Lebunale. Mein Kleine, mein schöne Mädele. Die bist mein Ruchale, mein Masel, mein Bruchale, mein Kleine, mein schöne Mädele. Joch, bist meine Chubale, mein Herz, meine Schubale, mein Kleine, mein schöne Mädele, weil ich lieb dich, jene sieht das Brit im Herzen, mach bei mir, oi, wie joch, bist mein Matunale, mein Sinn, mein Lebunale, mein Kleine, mein schöne Mädele. Joch. Ich hab dich lieb und aschien. Es sieht, es bricht im Herzen, macht es joch. Bist mein Matunale, mein Sinn, mein Lebunale, mein Kleine, mein Schöne. Joch.
Vjach Chach Chach. What does that mean? I don't think it means anything, really. Vjach Chach Chach. You know, what can it mean? Nothing. But anyway, we enjoyed listening to that. I certainly hope you enjoyed listening to it, because after all, if I enjoyed listening to it, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you enjoyed listening to it, you out there in the public. And it also matters that you send us letters that you are listening to our show. And if you don't know where to send the letters, just give me a call at 651-3241. 651-3241. And now, once again, we'd like to announce Temple Beth Am. There will be a Sisterhood Hanukkah Workshop Luncheon at Temple Beth Am Social Hall, 5950 North Kendall Drive, on Wednesday, November 19th at 11 a.m. They will have Hanukkah prayers, songs, cooking, baking, and crafts, and they will all be taught in preparation for the holiday, which starts December 2nd. So for more information, just call the Temple's office at 667-6667. And if you have a public service announcement, you can call me at 651-3241. Well, after the Barry Sisters, you know, I think many times, lots of you in the audience, myself included, of course, we'd like to be rich. You know, we'd like to be very rich. But at this time, we're going to hear If I Was a Rich Man. Since we can't be rich, you know, how many people can be a reicher Gewehr? You know what a reicher Gewehr is? Tom is our engineer. He doesn't know what a reicher Gewehr. That's a rich man, you know, but you really can't get the feeling when you say it in English, a rich man. But if you say a reicher Gewehr, then you're saying something. A rich woman? A rich woman? I don't know. We'll think about that later. See, you stuck me. Anyway, the Israeli Broadcasting Orchestra is going to play for us now, If I Was a Rich Man. We just heard If I Was a Rich Man by the Israeli Broadcasting Orchestra, and engineer Tom asked me, how would you say in Yiddish, if I was a rich woman? I don't know, Tom, but all rich women have rich husbands. That's how they get rich. So I don't think we really have to know how to say that, really. Anyway, if you are enjoying our show, call your neighbors, tell them about our show, and also send us a letter. And give me a call at 651-3241 with all of your requests. And if I don't happen to have the record with the artist, you know, if you'd like to donate a record to our radio station, it'll be our pleasure to air it, as long as it's in playable condition. I don't know if we can return it, but we can keep it here at the station. That will be your donation. And now we'd like to bring back Seymour Rexsite for another encore, and he's going to sing for us, Nit Gedeiget, which means, don't worry.
Nit gedeiget, was tut ein schöner Simen, nit gedeiget, Es wird zu dir noch kommen, dein Bescherte, dein Begehrte, die vier Werte suchen, wird dir. Ich hab dich lieb, oh, nicht gedeiht, weil auch so viel weiß er nicht gedeiht. Wir sein am Alkohol-Fäßer, kommen Giche, wie a Biche, wird er sich gleich zu dir in Stiel. Oh, wie die wir sich mit ihm da freuen. Die was mit Magelbruchen mit einem Mann am Mitzviten zu gehen. Nicht gedeiht, Gott wird dich noch beglitten, nicht gedeiht. Wird dir Gier zu schicken, dir auf Fälle, wenn du schneller brechen Teller, wirst du die was sehen. Das Mädlich, jetzt Tafelwerte, ihr sollt es gedenken. Es wird euch sein Gier, in ihr wird Massimen. Kommt nicht schnell, oh ja, was scherte, sollt ihr sich nicht kränken, weil wird sie euch pinkt in Zeitung kommen. Es bloß nicht ständig neue Winden, Gott sitzt Teufen in Putinten, seine Geruchen sind doch verborgen. Hat noch nicht vergessen keinen, hat sie für jeden einen, für jeder wird euch keine dir versorgen. Nicht gedeiht, dass du die schöner Zimmer nicht gedeiht. Es wird zu dir noch kommen, dein Bescherte, dein Begehrte, die vier Werte suchen, wird er dir. Ich hab dich lieb, oh, nicht gedeiht, weil auch so viel weiß er nicht gedeiht. Wir sein am Alkohol-Fäßer, kommen Giche, wie a Biche, wird er sich gleich zu dir stiel. Oh, wie die wir sich mit ihm da freuen. Die was mit Maselbruchen mit einem Mann am Mitzviten zu gehen. Eine Gehalt geht, ich hab erschossen, nicht Gehalt geht. Die nach Fälle, wie du schneller brechen kann, was die was sehen, Maseltag.
Ned gedeiget. Don't worry about a thing. As long as you're tuned into Freilach time, but darf sagt nicht deigen. You don't have to worry. What do you have to worry about, Tom? You're a young fella. Tom is our engineer, in case you just tuned in. You know, this is Freilach time. Young, handsome, tall gentleman, and he's worried. He's worried. He's worried about finding a rich woman. Well, Tom, you know, if we were broadcasting live right now, I think you'd get many telephone calls, but we're not broadcasting live, and I think they'd be knocking on the doors here. That's right. We'd have to call the police, because there'd be so many women after you. Don't worry about a thing. Ned gedeiget. And we just had a beautiful woman walk in, Nora. Nora just walked in. She kissed Tom. Well, anyway, I better not say anything. 2 weeks ago, I played Osei Shalom, featuring my orchestra and my clarinet, and we've received numerous requests for Osei Shalom, the instrumental version that I recorded, and this was recorded on the Fran label. And those two beautiful people, Fran and Isaac Hager, who are sending us some new recordings for our program. And they produced that album. I think they did a wonderful job. So now your host, Marty Levitt, and his orchestra is going to play Osei Shalom in the very same fashion as when I perform at a wedding or a bar mitzvah. You're going to hear now your host, Marty Levitt. Well, you just heard your host, Marty Levitt, playing the clarinet in his orchestra, and of course that was and is Osei Shalom. Now, many of you people who have just tuned in, you know, if you happen to have caught the station just by accident, we are here every Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock with Freilach time, every Wednesday evening. So tell your friends, and if you'd like to send us a letter to WDNA, W, D as in David, A-N-A, Miami, Florida, 33155, and tell us that you are enjoying our show. Because I assume everyone is enjoying our show, you know, and of course we did receive numerous requests that we make our show longer and that we increase our power, but we need people to become active and support us. So the rest is up to you. Now I think we'll dance a little bit. You know, you've been sitting, relaxing all this time. I think it's about time you got up and worked off some of those calories. So how many of you people know how to dance a Russian share? This will be a short Russian share. It won't be too long. We'll bring the Barry sisters to the forefront, and they'll sing for us Dem Nayim Share.
Nimm dein Spiel, du neue Liedl, tanzen wird mit dem neuen Schär. In der Karre hat man dreht sich hin, dus Herz, da freut sich nur, wenn man tanzt dem neuen Schär. Hecher, bis die Stelle springt, der Seidelle, es wird sich leben wie wo's wär. Die Babes, als die Quälte nach der Sonne, mag zu lachen, tanzen wird mit dem neuen Schär. Nu seht wie jeder freut sich. In die man dreht sich und man tippet mit die Fies. Das Herze geht, nur tanzen weht sich. Weil wenn man tanzt, dann wird das Leben mal so süß. Nur seht, wie jeder freut sich. In die man dreht sich und man tippet mit die Fies. Das Herze geht, nur tanzen weht sich. Weil wenn man tanzt, dann wird das Leben mal so süß. Sein Atzen darf mir alle feurig sein, das wird man schön nicht mehr. Weil besetzen wird man bald die Kalle, in Tanzen wird man gut im neuen Scher. Was teugen alle Deiges, alle Sorgen, auf den Arzen, wenn es ist dir schwer. Oh, bester Brüder, offen als bis morgen, weil alle in einem Tag im neuen Scher. Her, her, her! En wie me dreht sich en men tippet mit die Fies. Das Herze geht, beim Tanzen weht sich. Weil wenn man tanzt, dann wird das Leben mal so süß. Nur seht, wie jeder freut sich. En wie me dreht sich en men tippet mit die Fies. Das Herze geht, nur Tanzen weht sich. Weil wenn man tanzt, dann wird das Leben mal so süß. Hecher, bis die Stelle springt der alter Seide Elie, wenn spielt an der Kapelle Tanz dem neuen Scher.
are. It's Wednesday evening. It's the end of our show. You know, we had a much longer program prepared, but the time just went right by. Because as you know, this is the only radio program dedicated to the perpetuation and preservation of our musical heritage. And if you'd like to call me at 651-3241, we can discuss how we can preserve our musical heritage. You know, time is a-fleeting at the end of our meeting. I've got lots more to say and lots more to play, but now I just happen to be on my way. The playing of our theme song signifies the end of Freilach time. That's not my end, just the end of Freilach time. I would like to thank you one and all for joining our Freilach time Mishpacha. Don't forget, I'll be back next Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock on WDNA 88.9 on your FM dial. The magic word is a big gesund, because if you are gesund, you are glickluck, you are glickluck, you have mazel, you have mazel, you have parnusim, you have parnusa, you are Freilach. Which brings us right back to Freilach time every Wednesday evening at 8. This is Marty Levitt saying, so long, shalom, and todah rabah for joining us. Laila tov, everyone. Good evening, and I will be with you next Wednesday evening at 8.
Thank you.